Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today we are going to be going through my January reading plans. But before we get into the January reading plans, first we'll take a quick detour. So the first detour is of course to say, I hope you had a wonderful holiday season, Happy New Year, welcome into 2026, and hopefully I hope that you all have a wonderful year filled with amazing books. And then the second thing that I want to talk about is my video plans, because obviously I have a lot of reading plans. There's a lot of books I want to get to in January, but there is also quite a few videos I want to film. December really got away from me. Usually in December I start the end of year content. Usually I get my priority TBR up and my anticipated releases and all of those, the goals. I do have my goals video up. I'll leave a link down below if you want to see it. I didn't manage to get anything else up because the month got away from me. January, I hope that I will actually be filming quite a bit and uploading quite a bit for you, because I shouldn't say filming, because with me, filming is not the problem. It's the editing and uploading is the problem. So hopefully I will be editing and uploading quite a few videos. So you have my priority TBR, my anticipated releases, my best books, my worst books. I'm ranking every single book that I have read this year, which yes, I went through the ranking. I'm happy with it. So that will be coming soon enough. Obviously this video. And then I also have my book haul, and I feel like I'm forgetting something. I feel like there's another one that I'm forgetting. Either way, there would probably be roughly 8 videos coming your way this month, which is more than my usual. Obviously a couple months back I was like, I'm gonna be chill in the new year, and 8 videos isn't chill. It is doable though. So hopefully you'll be getting quite a bit of content from me coming up, and we'll see if I manage it, because I don't really want to be dragging the end of year, reflecting on last year's stuff. I don't really want to be dragging it into February. I kind of want to get it done. So now it's on to the TBR. First two I'm actually going to talk about together, and that is Sight Witch and Blood Witch by Susan Dennard, which I have tabbed up, and honestly while I reread them I might take the tabs out because tabs kind of annoy me, and these are the only books I have tabs, so I'll probably take them out while I'm rereading them. But I have been revisiting the Witchland series by Susan Dennard. The final book in the series came out in November, and that is Witchlight. And that book came to me, I picked it up, I immediately went to start reading it, and I opened the first page and went, no, I have to reread. So I read Truth Witch and Wind Witch in December, and now I'm going to try and get through. Obviously one of them is just a novella. The Blood Witch, this is one of my favorite books of all time. There's yellow tabs in here, and these are moments ingrained in my memory forever. So good. So good. Kicking my feet and giggling. So good. So I'm going to try and get through the 2 of these, and then next month I'll be able to read Witch Shadow and potentially Witchlight, but I'll definitely get to Witch Shadow next month. So yes, so we're making good progress on my rereads. So I'm going to try and get through the 2 of these. I mean, I can read probably both of these in a day each, because I can power through this even if it is a bit chunkier. It is a YA fantasy series written by Susan Dennard, which starts following Safi and Isolde, who are thread sisters, a magical kind of sistership bond. Safi is a truth witch, which means she can tell truth from lie, but she keeps this a secret because obviously the political powers of this world would want to use her for their own gain. And the 2 of them want to get out of this city, and they use Safi's abilities to their own advantage sometimes. At the very start of this book, they are after losing money in a card game, and they have set a trap to try and win it back. But the wrong people get caught in this trap, and they end up attracting the attention of a lot of people, including a blood witch who can track her scent and realizes what she is. And so the 2 of them have to set off to try and, escape all of the people who now know of Safi's existence. So yes, I'm gonna be screaming reading this, or at least I hope so. Imagine if I read it and I don't feel anything anymore. Oh my god, don't even put that out in the world. The next book that I'm going to talk about is The Gates of Garnish and Gold by Shauna Maguire. This is the 500th book in the Wayward Children series. I don't know, it is one of the books in the Wayward Children series, and every single year I read these as they come out. I feel like for me, I read them because you see the page count goal go up, you see that book goal go up, makes you feel accomplished at the start of the year. They are very short and easy to get through, and at this stage it's just ritual. I don't love this series. There's been a couple that I've really liked, and there's been none that have hit the 5-star, but there's been a couple that have hit the 4, But I feel like they usually sit around the 3. This one actually goes back to the character that we met in the very first book, and I think something is wrong with her world. And I imagine she's going to recruit people from the Wayward Children's School to help her out. And the next book that I want to read is The Silver Tide by Jen Williams. This is the 3rd and final book in the Copper Cat trilogy, and this I did start it last year actually. I read it, the first one, pretty early on. I read the second one last month, I think, or the month before. November, December, I think I read it. And now this is the 3rd and final book. I have really thoroughly been enjoying it. I don't love it as much as the Winnowing Flame trilogy. These ones, those ones, the world building and the thought and all of that, it's just insane. Like, so unique, so original. And this one, this is her, like, her debut series, and I like it. Like, I don't want to pretend that I don't like it or anything like that. I've given the first 2 4 stars. I started this book, and I'm enjoying this so far. I'm pretty sure it's also going to be a 4-star. It's very much, it's family dynamic. There's a little bit of romance. It's very classic fantasy. They are sellswords. They'll do whatever job you want for a price. In the very first book, we follow Lord Frith, who is supposed to be dead, but he comes to Widrin and Sebastian and asks for their help to get into the Citadel, and is offering them an amount of money that they cannot refuse, and they go down and they accidentally unleash a monster on the world. These are actually, like, so it's very much like that classic adventure found family vibe. So if that sounds like your thing, I totally recommend this series for that. If you want like original, weird, wacky world building, then I would recommend The Winnowing Flame. And I'm having a really good time. And even throughout this, like, I think, especially for a debut fantasy series, it's so strong. And I feel like even throughout this series, you have seen her become more and more of a strong writer. And I think the unique thing about this is it is more like Monster of the Week kind of a vibe. Like, I was reading the first book and I assumed like this monster that they set free was going to be the big bad of the series, and it turns out there's kind of like a different quest nearly in every book. Like, yes, everything that happens in the first book has consequences and those carry on throughout the series, but like the adventures that they're going on are different. And in this one, it involves pirates. So I'm excited for this one. I feel like this could be my favorite of the series. Also, it is a chunky boy, so. Then next up, I have Seasonal Fears by Shauna Maguire. This, again, we're trying to kind of clear down some of my physical TBR and continue on in some series. I also have the 3rd book, which I'm trying not to do as much anymore, having like the 2nd and 3rd book in a series waiting for me. I'm trying to, you know, if I read the first book and I like it, I then buy the 2nd book. So, and especially with a series like this, where I know that this is not as loved as the first book is, and the final book is coming out this year, so I'd like to get caught up before that comes out. So this is the 2nd book in the Alchemical Journeys series, I believe it's called. The first book is Middle Game, and that follows twins Roger and Dodger, and they have been separated at birth. And one is very good with maths and numbers, and the other is good with words, languages. And the 2 of them have this connection that they keep being drawn to each other, even though they're supposed to have been separated. And when they come together, they have some incredible powers, and the person who created them wants to use these powers for himself. I know that the 2 characters from the original book are fairly prominent in here, but it does follow 2 different characters. And so I don't know, are they also siblings, or are they like, I don't know how they take place into the story. So I cannot tell you anything about this sequel. I'm a little nervous because I know this isn't as loved, but I'm hoping that I will be the exception. So we've gotten a lot of continuing series, finishing series, rereading series. Now let's start a series. I'm being very cautious that I'm not like starting 5 series in a month. I want to make sure that I am like, at the very least, continuing the same amount that I am starting. But the book that I want to start and the series I want to start is The Final Strike by Sarah L. Rufi. This book has been on my TBR for a while now. I think maybe 2 years. I think I might have gotten it in 2024. So it's been sitting there a while. I don't want it to be sitting there anymore, especially when I've heard such good things. But I think I'm a little afraid that I'm not going to like this, or that I'm not going to love it as much as other people have, which is so silly because I read her other series, which I was not even as interested in. Like, I bought this. I didn't even buy the other ones. I just listened to them on Everand. I bought this because I was like confident that I was going to like it, and I bought this before I'm not even sure Feybound was out then. I don't even think Feybound was out, and I had bought this. And yet I have read Feybound and Cursebound before I have read this, which is just silly. Like, that is silly behavior on my part. And Feybound was a 3-star, Cursebound was a 4-star, and every single person that I have has read both of them say that this is better. So if I have given 3 and 4, which are like, I liked them, then surely I should love this. This follows a world where people are divided by the color of their blood. So there's blue bloods, red bloods, and clear bloods. The red bloods are the ruling class. They are the people who are the highest in society, who have the most privilege, the best things happen to them. The clear bloods are basically not even considered human, and the blue bloods are just viewed as like lesser people. And there was the seeds of rebellion, and some blue blood children were swapped with red blood children because every however many years there is a trials for the new emperor, and the hope was that a red-blooded baby who was raised by the blue blood people would see their suffering and then go become emperor and make changes for them. I think that rebellion has now fallen apart, but these children are still in their places, and so we have to see how they grapple with that. Then, also starting a series, so as I said, I'm not a perfect person, guys. It's going to be Shaman's Crossing by Robin Hobb. I think put this on my December TBR. I did not get around to it. I'm doing it this month. From the audiobook isn't appearing on Everand. I don't know if they've taken them off or whether I was in Everand jail and like that stopped me from seeing them. Usually it shows up, but it shows up not available, so I'm not sure what's going on with that. My library does have the audiobook. All of Robin Hobb's books I have listened and read along at the exact same time. That's just the way I like to consume her books, and so I wanted to do it the same with this. My library does have the audiobook. The hold is in, I think, like the 20th of January, so I will be reading it around then. Every time I look at the back, all I can see is sexual play, and I'm like, what? What now? That's all I know. This is actually going to happen this month, okay? So speaking of books from my library, I also have recently just gotten my hold of Hemlock and Silver by T. Kingfisher Inn. I have read majority of T. Kingfisher's books. I'm hoping to do a ranking of every single one of her books. This is her most recent fantasy book. It is a Snow White retelling, I believe, and that is all I know about it. I have been enjoying her retellings. They're not my favorite books. Surprisingly for me, her fantasy romance books are the books that I love the most. You can see the traditional covers right here. I have the self-published ones over in the corner, and as I said, this is a library hold I came in, and I want to be better for not just reserving books and then just sending them back because I'm like, oh, I didn't mean that. Like, we're gonna actually read books that I put on hold. Potentially, if I have the time. I have a reading goal this year. I'll leave my goals video link down below, of reading like more sci-fi. I think it was a 10 sci-fi I set, and I think it was 6 non-fictions. So if I could read one, either a sci-fi or a non-fiction this month, I would like that very much. Leave your recommendations for sci-fis and non-fictions down below. And then the very last book that I want to read this month, I've already read it, guys. It was my first book of the year. I gave it 4 stars. Is Assassin's Apprentice, Volume 2 by Robin Hobb. Jodie Hauser, Ryan Kelly, Jordi Belair, Hassan Otsmane. Allow? I read the first volume last year. Like, it was one of my last books of the year, and I also gave that 4 stars. It's honestly a little painful going back to the start. These are obviously comic graphic novel adaptations of the Farseer trilogy by Robin Hobb. I think volume 3 is the last volume, and I think that came out at the end of December, so I need to get my hands on that. Hope that might be on my TBR for February. And I've been really enjoying it. I am not a big comics, graphic novel, manga, any of that kind of fan. I'm not a very visual person because I cannot picture things in my head. So I tend not to care that much about how things look. I love Robin Hobb so much, so I wanted to try this. These are perfect. I said the same thing when I read The Raven Boys. These are not perfect for people who have just read Assassin's Apprentice, or people who have like read it 500 times, or if you are thinking of trying it. These are not for you, I don't think. I think these are for people who, like me, read Assassin's Apprentice 5 years ago and are like, I love this world so much. Like, I read Assassin's Fate last year. I finished that last year. Who are, it's been a while. You're the kind of thinking, maybe I should reread that. And you pick these up, it transports you back there. And there is enough information that you were able to remember the little bits that you've forgotten. And that's what makes this like a really solid, fun time. I don't think if you want this to be your introduction into Robin Hobb's world, I don't think that. I've been having a really good time with these, and it makes me want to reread the series so much. And there's so things that I've forgotten. And I'm like, I'm not sure, have I pointed that out before? Did I know that and I forgot about it? But like, there was just a specific thing about a name. And I was like, oh my god, that's where that name comes from. And I'm pretty sure I knew that at some point, but I've forgotten. And like, it made me like a little emotional. So that's my TBR and one book I've read already. Let me know what your January reading plans are. I'm gonna put the comic on the bottom because it's bigger, and that's how gravity works. So here is my TBR for the month. As I said, this is manageable. I actually read a lot of books in December. I was like, what got into me? It was not filming videos, that's what got into me. So yes, so tell me what your January reading plans, and have you read any of these? Do you like them? So thank you guys so much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed. If you did, subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye!